We started this project facing a massive water leak that absolutely destroyed sections of the subfloor. We ripped out the damage, replaced the insulation, and had to rebuild a unique dual-layer floor system. 3/4-inch plywood, topped with Maxxon's Gyp-Crete gypsum underlayment poured throughout the unit. This video is a step-by-step masterclass on how to restore, blend, and finish the drywall after a major demolition. Let's get to work. When patching, I always start by securing the existing drywall to the framing. It prevents future movement and, more importantly, marks exactly where my studs are, so I'm not guessing once the new sheet goes up. I'm starting with this small piece on the pony wall to create a flat plane for the next sheet to butt against. For the main wall, I measure my length, width, and then my penetrations. Pro tip: measure for your plumbing from the finished drywall edge above, not the floor. It's more accurate. To fit the toilet valve, I mark the center point, draw a triangle down to the bottom edge, and cut it out. This lets me drop the sheet right over the pipe. Then I just piece the triangle back in with a bit of backing. I'll zip the rest of the sheet on with the screw gun, finish the rips around the shower trough, and cap it off with metal bullnose. For that damaged corner on the pony wall, out with the old, in with the new. Always nail from the center out to keep it straight. To get started, I'm using a cut-off piece of bullnose as a trough to fill my water bucket. Simple, but it works. I was looking for Durabond, but since the shop was out, I'm running with 20-minute light. For a gap this size around the shower surround, I mix the pre-fill thick so it holds its body and doesn't slump out of the trough. While that sets, I'm tackling the irregular joint behind the toilet. Instead of fighting that factory recessed edge against the existing flat wall, I pre-fill the recess to bring it flush with the surface plane. Now I can treat it like a standard butt joint and float it out perfectly. I also work that hot mud right into the punched holes of the corner bead to mechanically lock it into place. For the next pass, I mix the 20-minute thinner, aiming for that sour cream consistency. You need it wet enough to soak in, but thick enough to fill every square in the mesh tape. I lay down a bed coat, embed the mesh, and let it bond. To really bulletproof this against moisture, I'm adding a second layer of protection, Westpac's White Dot compound and paper tape right over the top. I'm choosing White Dot here because of its higher glue content, which gives me much better adhesion for that paper tape. One final tip: keep that shower lip spotless. If you leave even a tiny chunk of dried mud on that edge, your knife will chatter on the next pass, and you'll be fighting those marks for the rest of the job. With the tape coat dry, I start by pole sanding everything with 180 grit. For the tight spots where the sanding head won't reach, I switch to a hand sponge to keep things uniform. Quick sweep with the broom afterward. You need a dust-free surface to ensure that fill coat really bites. Prep is done, so I'm moving on to the large butt joint above the toilet. I follow that line all the way around the shower, switching to my 6-inch knife to navigate the shower head before picking the paste back up on the other side. At the pony wall, I decided to coat around the toilet paper holder rather than pulling it. Using the 6-inch knife gives me the control I need to keep it clean. From there, it's back to the hock and trowel for the final stretch, tying in the last butt joint where we started. I'm laying down a generous amount of mud with the trowel, then smoothing it out and feathering those edges for a seamless transition. The texture is dry, and now we're on to the most critical phase, sanding. This is the moment of truth. If you rush this, the repair will stand out like a sore thumb. Get it right, and it vanishes. Every grain of dust is an enemy here. A single missed spot will ruin the paint finish, so I make sure the surface is surgical before moving forward. Next, I'm sealing the perimeter with an even bead of caulk to bridge the gap. Finally, I'm locking it all in with 2 coats of Dunn-Edwards Acrylic Latex in eggshell. It's the final layer that turns a patch into a seamless part of the wall. Bringing a wall back from a major demo like this takes patience, but taking the extra time on the prep is what makes the repair completely disappear. If you picked up a new trick or appreciate the craftsmanship that goes into a clean finish, do me a huge favor. Hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. It really helps the algorithm push these trade secrets out to more people. Drop a comment below if you've ever had to fight a bastard joint on your own job site. Thanks for watching Walls Explained, and I'll see you on the next one.